Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's GTA 5 video, I'm going to be telling you guys how to save up so that you can buy and afford all of the new content that's going to arrive in the December 2019 update for Grand Theft Auto Online. So, whatever the theme is going to be, right now the assumption is that it's going to be something revolving around the casino and a new heist quest or heist storyline. We know Rockstar by now, and we usually know what to expect in Grand Theft Auto Online updates. And at least over the past couple of years, they've all been expensive. And this has probably put a lot of people in a bind right now, especially given the last update, how many cars there were, gambling all your money away at the Diamond Casino and Resort. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how over the next couple of days, maybe week or so before the update arrives, number one, how you can get a lot of money to be able to buy all the new cars, vehicles, properties, and more, but also how you can get a little bit extra and save even a bit too. All right, so the first tip we're going to be going over today, a pretty obvious one, but pay attention to the newswire, bonuses, sales, and discounts. So this is something that I try to cover each and every week in Grand Theft Auto Online so that you're at least aware of what's going on in terms of bonuses and benefits. Like, for example, this week, biker business sell missions are 2 times money in RP. Nightclub sell missions will give you double rewards. Nightclub income is boosted to double. You get twice the money in RP for the heist finales of the Fleeca job, Humane Labs raid, and the Pacific Standard job. So knowing those opportunities will allow you to go into Grand Theft Auto Online making the most money possible. So for example, this week you would want to do this stuff and not really pay attention to the gun running stuff. Capitalize on the extra opportunities that Rockstar gives you. Now, by that same token, be wary of discounts that Rockstar are going to start offering. This is something they usually do about 2 to 3 weeks before an update comes out. They'll start offering insane discounts on, don't get me wrong, really good items in game, but things you might not necessarily need. Like, for example, right now they're doing 60% off basically all the properties in the game, like nightclubs, hangars, and yachts. You might say to yourself, yachts for 60% off, that's a really good deal, but you'd still end up spending millions of dollars on something that you might want for the next update. So be wary of discounts, even though they might be crazy good, you're still spending money here, and you might end up needing that for the next update. So that's the first thing. Take advantage of what Rockstar has going on in the current events. The second thing is do some house cleaning on your Grand Theft Auto Online account. And really what I mean by this is maybe start to sell some vehicles, particularly if you have all full garages. Now, this is good for 2 reasons. The first reason is you can obviously make some really good money here. So, for example, I think before the Diamond Casino and Resort update, I had like a garage full of lowriders. And again, this is before we really knew that the casino was going to have like a full garage that you could park cars in, but still, I had a full garage of like lowriders and Benny's vehicles that I had never taken out in like 2 or 3 years. So what I did is I basically just spent like the next week selling them. And that's another reason why I'm letting you guys know about this now instead of like the night before, because Rockstar only lets you sell a certain number of vehicles per day. And if you sell too many, you'll get put on like this list of bad guys and online. You really want to start now. So what you should do is just go through all of your garages. If you see a vehicle or two that you think, I've never really used this and I don't think I'm going to use this going forward, just go take it over to the Los Santos Custom Shop and sell it. And depending on how much that car originally was, you can get a lot of money back, hundreds of thousands of dollars, potentially even millions for each one. And what that'll do is it'll essentially just give you some extra income for everything that'll be added in the December 2019 update. Now, the second thing this does is it clears out room for new cars. So maybe Rockstar will add another garage in this update, but it's not always a guarantee. It's something that they haven't done every single time in every DLC. So again, not 100% that will actually happen. And there's one thing that we can pretty much guarantee with this December 2019 update, that there is going to be a lot of new cars, like a ton of vehicles. I don't know what the total was in the Diamond Casino and Resort update, but there was enough to drip feed all the way from July till the end of November. So I guarantee you that Rockstar will do pretty much the exact same thing here, adding a ton of vehicles. So you're going to need that extra garage space in order to be able to get all of them in there. The next tip that I can give you, and I usually always say this before updates come out, and that is don't feel like you have to buy everything on day one. If you can, share something with your friends or other crew members. Like, for example, I knew a lot of people on the first day that the Diamond Casino and Resort update came out that only like one of their friends ended up buying the penthouse. And they were just the one that started all of the missions, which allowed their friends that didn't have a casino penthouse to still participate in the story missions and make some money until they could, afford a penthouse for themselves if they wanted to. And same with the cars and the other content that's going to be added. Maybe one of your friends buys, one of the supercars, you buy another one, and you guys can sort of trade off and see if you end up liking them. So needless to say, you don't have to buy every single item that Rockstar introduces. Obviously, wait for the dust to settle a little bit. Maybe you'll recognize and realize that, hey, one of these vehicles isn't so great after all, and I don't actually want to buy it. And as you guys have noticed over the last couple of weeks, usually Rockstar eventually make all the new DLC vehicles on sale, like at some point in time. Like I know over the last couple of weeks, we've seen like tons of new DLC vehicles from the Diamond Resort that have been like 30-40% off. And on top of that, we know that Rockstar added the Lucky Wheel with the Diamond Casino and Resort, and like every other week, it seems like there's a new DLC vehicle on there. So if that is the case, honestly, spin the Lucky Wheel before you even consider buying it, because you might get lucky and you might end up getting the vehicle without having to purchase it after all. So just something to think about right there. Now, let's move on to the final thing I want to discuss in this video today, and that is what sort of content is going to be added. Well, we don't know a ton about this next update, at least yet, other than some provisional clues and hints that have been found so far. But by this point, I think it should be pretty obvious of what sort of things Rockstar does in an update. There's obviously going to be new cars and new vehicles. That's a staple of every update. There's a chance that this new update could require a new property. Now, as it currently stands, the theme that a lot of people are expecting is something related to a heist update. And it could be centered around the Diamond Casino and Resort. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, well, okay, we might not have to buy a new property because we already have a penthouse at the Diamond Casino and Resort. But this wouldn't be the first time that Rockstar has built upon an update, but still made you purchase a new property. I mean, think back to the Finance and Felony update and the Import-Export update. In Finance and Felony, you bought the CEO office, which is great. But in Import-Export, you could buy the new garage, and you could also had to buy the vehicle warehouse if you actually wanted to start the Import-Export stuff. So Rockstar is no stranger to making add-ons or making you purchase additional properties to do something kind of similar in-game. There's also likely going to be a ton of new clothing, especially if it builds off the Diamond Casino and Resort with the casino store. There's also a good chance there could be new weapons, although Rockstar have been shying away from that. So that's probably the thing I'm least confident in as far as what's arriving. And there also could be a ton of other miscellaneous things as well that we just don't quite know about yet. And that could easily add up to the millions of dollars. Now, I will say the only lucky thing about this, and you could look at this in a good or a bad way, is there's going to be a ton of drip feed in this update. So whatever the total cost of all the items are, you aren't going to have that on day one, because Rockstar is only going to give us a fraction of it. So some of that will come in the weeks ahead, likely in 2020 and beyond. The only thing that's kind of different about this December update is there will be some festive content. And usually with the festive content, Rockstar releases stuff a little bit more frequently. At least that's how they've traditionally done it in the past. So just something to think about right there, that you might have to have a little bit more money than usual than, say, like a update that comes out in June or July. But anyways, that's all the information that I've got for you guys in this video today. Just some quick tips and tricks on how you can ultimately save your money and what to expect in the December 2019 update for Grand Theft Auto Online as far as cars, vehicles, properties, and more go. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. How much do you think this update is going to cost as far as how much money you will need? Obviously, when we know more, I'll do like a full guide on how much money I think everything is going to cost. And I always say this, but I think it's true. You'd rather have more money than at the start of an update than less money. Like you would have wanted to spend more time grinding and have an excess amount of money than get to the update and say, man, I wish I had, done some more biker cell missions because I can't afford any of this new content. You'd rather be in the position where you have more than less, obviously. But like I said, that's all I've got for you guys in this video today. Hopefully you did enjoy. If you guys did go to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and Red Dead Redemption videos that I'm doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.